Carol. Agnes Stevens, Universal Dance Destiny. you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. What an amazing energy coming from the audience. That helps us. Thank you.
So you hang on to that.
Okay.
And we have a little, like, just a little, not so much. There. They're not so scared. And then some, water whenever you get a chance. Corinne, who's busy. No, right now. No. Thank you. Do you want to introduce your dancers, please?
Sure.
And drummers.
Well, I just want to say thanks first to Lori. Can we just give her a big hand?
Thank you.
This is my third time with Universal Dance Destiny and myself. This is our third time performing, and I have a joke that she always calls us every 3 years. So we always bring something different, and so I want to say thank you. I'm Universal Dance Destiny, the artistic director and choreographer of the company. My name is Edna Stevens, and with me today we have wonderful new young dancers, so I'm so proud of them. We can give them a big hand. Because we have LaBelle over here, and they all related. Then we have Destiny, Destiny's on the right, and Mr. Acroby. And let's not forget the drummers, because without them, there's no us, right? So we have Jeffrey. Jeffrey's in the corner. And then we also have Steve. Oh, that was nice. Thank you, Steve. Woo-woo!
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Corinne. Oh, sweet. All right, we're good. All right. So, it's a little bit of the history is in the program, but just start with how you began this dance.
Awesome. You know, I'm so thankful right now, because when I started in the dance community, I would always hear about grant writing and getting grants, you know. But I was always one of those dancers that, you know, just put some music on, you know, and even in the parking lot, and I'm gonna dance. That was me. So grant writing and getting grants was like, you know, hieroglyphics for me. But then I heard about the Next Step Fund that MRAC, Minnesota Regional Arts Council, was having, and you can actually apply to study or just advance your career. And I said to myself, my goal as a choreographer and performing artist is to do things overseas. You know what I mean? It's like, I love Minnesota, but I want to be able to go overseas, get some culture, get some learning, build my artistic knowledge and bring it back. So I applied for a grant to study in Benin Kingdom in Nigeria, where there's still a king. I just said, let me give it a try, and guess what? I got the grant.
Well, I want to ask you why you picked Nigeria. Now you're from...
I'm Liberian. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it has a little love story behind it. Well, I got married 2 years ago to a Nigerian. And when I went to visit his family, I found out that they still have a kingdom, you know, and I was like, this can't be real, you know, because I've never met a king. I've never knew that there were still kingdoms. And I found out, and I said, you know what, this would be so cool for me to learn the dances of Nigerian kingdom, this Benin kingdom, B-E-N-I-N. And I told my husband, I'm like, this will even get me closer to you. And we gave it a try, and I got the grant to study 2 months, September and October in 2016, with the Inet Cultural Troupe from Nigeria. They do not only dance, but they also are musicians, drummers, and they sing. So it was just an amazing experience to be there for 2 months and study under them. And guess what? I got really fortunate because they invited me to do the coronation. It just so happened that while I was there, the new king was getting coronated. I mean, like, how lucky do you get, right? So they asked me to do the performance for the king, and I did. It was, for me, I've never met a king. I've never seen a king in my life. Liberia, we don't have kings. So all of that was just an experience like none other. One of the things that blew me away was not only the dance, but also the costuming. As you can see, they're huge. These beatings are from Nigeria. If you see any other African country, Mali does some beatings, but Nigeria is like the mother of these type of beatings. They're very into not just the traditional dancing, but also the costuming as well.
So the costumes that you have on were made by?
In Nigeria, yep. So okay. While I was there, I had them special made because I knew I was gonna bring all this beautiful, culture back with me. So I said, well, I have to get some costumes, and these are actually handmade in Nigeria by different people. The woman that I got this from, she's from the village, and she hand makes these with her hands.
And the dance in Nigeria is usually is centered around ceremony.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, very ceremonial. Because again, I'm Liberian and I'm used to the West African Mandingo style of dancing. But as you see in Nigeria, there's not as much jumping, I would say, and it's more focused on what the feet is doing. You know, the footwork is very important, and technique as far as understanding why you're doing what you're doing. Like for example, the song I was singing, what we did was a miniature coronation of this king.
Wait,
So,
how did that feel? How did that feel to be that king? Have you, yeah.
It felt really great and exciting.
You liked being the center. Yes, yes.
just stole the show.
I think most of us do. But how did you teach? So you brought back the vocabulary, the dance of Nigeria, and the customs, and taught this. How did you teach this?
It took a lot of consistent perseverance and dedication. So what we did is we got together for rehearsals because I teach in the Twin Cities. So they're not even the only ones that know it. I teach at Parkway Montessori through Eastside Arts Council. So I got a chance to teach this dance to actually lots and lots of students. And those who excelled were the ones that we picked to perform. We also did the Festival of Nations. We presented this dance at the Festival of Nations. They had us down for 3 days. If you know a little bit about the festival, they usually give you 1 day. So they loved it, and they gave us 3 days to perform this Benin Kingdom coronation dance.
But how did you teach them? How do you just show them and they
Yeah,
copy you? What's
the cool thing about it, I mean, if you all know, dance is a passion. You know what I mean? If a dancer is passionate and they want it, you know, I look for dancers that want it. You know what I mean? Like I could just do a step and they'll pick it up. And these dancers are very passionate. They wanted it, and I took it step by step, going over the steps. And you'll notice the handkerchief. This is called the handkerchief dance. It's used a lot in the Benin Kingdom. It represents just the level of, like I was telling Lori earlier, the respect. So it represents respecting the elders and respecting the culture. So they use the handkerchief a lot. If you notice that we were swinging it side to side, we do different things with the handkerchiefs because that's what the dance is like, the handkerchief dance.
And what other dances do you do?
My name's Lavelle, and I do hip hop, ballet, tap, and jazz, and that's it.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And do you make up dances yourself?
Yeah.
So you have to come back and show us some.
Right.
Okay. And your name and what kind of dances do you do?
My name is Destiny, and I do hip hop. I used to do ballet, and sometimes I just do dances at home.
The best kind. And
My name is Livy. I do hip hop, jazz, ballet, lyrical, and some horizontal dances, and sometimes I just make up dances with my cousin and my sister.
wait, what was the last before the making of the dances? What was that?
Horizontal,
And what is that?
like African hip hop, like mixed to a dance.
Great. And what about you?
Yeah, Azanto is very big in the, so if you all get a chance, Google, you know, Azanto dance, they have great YouTube videos. So I specialize in African dance, but I also love just doing different types of dancing. I love hip hop. I also love to explore with modern dance, but mainly African. African is mine. And I wanted to just branch out outside of just the Mandingo and be able to learn different styles of African.
Now, do you have what would you like to know from this audience about what happened here tonight?
Yeah, I think we wrote some questions. Maybe you can.
Yes.
Maybe I don't remember.
Well, I know that you wanted to know this is something that you're going to continue.
Yes, that's
doing.
true. Yes, yes. So this is these dances and this dance that you just saw. I would like to evolve it into an evening performance one day, where you saw a little piece of the play, you know, kind of like a play or production, and just take it to the next level instead of just a 10-minute presentation, but just something that can be an evening length performance. So, you know, any suggestions or ideas of what you liked and
Yeah, you
what
had
we could
talked
build
about
on?
people giving you images of what you liked in the dance, your favorite parts of the dance would be helpful. Get a little- Yes, right here. Chris, right here. Sorry, I saw her first. That's good.
So I
Just
thought,
speak right into it.
okay. I thought this was awesome just to see, you know, cultural stuff going on, especially with younger children.
What do you mean by cultural?
You know, just having any different culture aside from, you know, what's outside of our door. I think that a lot of times we get used to seeing what we're seeing and we don't really realize, you know, all these awesome things that are going on in the world around us that are actually part of our world. You know, especially to have younger kids involved is huge to me. And
Can you hear up and back?
Yeah.
You're great. Okay, go ahead.
And you had mentioned that you have a dance studio, so I'm wondering about like further contact information about that, because I do work with a lot of younger kids, and I think this would be a very awesome experience for them.
Yeah, thank you so much. We actually use the Fallout Studios, which is not too far from here. If you Google Fallout Art Studio, that's the space that we rent. And then I also teach during the week at different schools. And I really like that because the schools are able to bring artists inside their programming, and it gives kids the opportunity to learn different types of dancing without having to pay for it. That's the nice thing about, you know, when you're doing it in the schooling. But yeah, we're Universal Dance Destiny. You can just, you know, go to our website, which is www.universaldancedestiny.com, and send me a little email.
We've got it in the program too. So good. Now, what kind of dance do you do? Do you? No, that's all right. Just
Me?
Yes, thank you. Yes. Yeah.
Dance?
Do you dance?
Oh my.
She does yoga.
Yoga. Okay.
I do yoga on occasion.
Yeah. But
dancing-
you teach. You teach.
I teach not dance.
Oh,
No.
okay, not dance.
No, I work with a lot of younger kids.
Great.
Yeah, definitely not teaching dance or anything by any means, but
She's a therapist.
I'm a therapist. I work a lot with younger kids, and I
Right.
see a lot of young minds that have kind of this unfulfilled potential. I have a lot of kids that definitely want to get involved with dance, especially the type of dance that I, just saw, something that's like culturally
Yeah, we come out to
significant.
you.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome.
Great.
I'll definitely be sending you.
Yes, give us a call, because that's a lot of what I do. I go out to a lot of different locations to teach what I do.
Okay, someone else. What you enjoyed? Is there someone over here? Just over here. Yes, all the way against the wall, Chris. Thanks. And then I'll come down here.
Hello. One thing that just sticks in my mind, there's a point where you were all in a vertical line, well, what I saw was a vertical line, and I really enjoyed that. I liked when there were changes in the spatial arrangement of the dancers. I noticed that oftentimes it was pretty frontal, which was cool, makes sense, you were presenting the coronation, but it was really pleasing to my eyes when I saw a spatial arrangement that wasn't horizontal. So that's what I noticed.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
And then down here. Chris. Alexandra.
Yeah, just to respond to it, thank you very much. And formations is also very important to us. I teach my dancers that for those who want to be choreographers, that always try to make the dance interesting. Give the audience something that they are captivated by, and it's not just a straight line, it's movement. So thank you for noticing that.
Hi, my name is Alexandra. I studied a lot of Ghanaian dance in college, and I was a member of a professional ensemble throughout college. And something that I remember doing with them, because we did like evening works that feature dancers from all over Ghana and the different tribes that the artistic directors were from. And so I'm just curious as to like how much of the coordination you participated in when you were there, how much of that is actually in this piece that you presented, if it was only, because I would imagine that a coordination would be longer than 10 minutes. So I'm wondering, what other pieces of that you could bring into the work to make it a longer work, and then also what other maybe contemporary techniques. I don't know how close you want to stay, if you want to present exactly what you did, or if you're interested in bringing contemporary techniques into it, where you could potentially develop the movement further, and maybe we could see like a marriage between the Libyan style and the Nigerian style, where it's really informing your audience of how much dance changes throughout Africa. And, Senegal, you have a lot of bird imagery and stuff like that, and in the styles of dance, and maybe it's a way of educating through movement.
Yes. Wonderful. Lots of wonderful wealth of ideas there. Yes, you're so right. One of the interesting things that I also realized is that West Africa, just because the countries are from the West doesn't mean that the dances are similar. I'm Liberian, and I tell you that the way we dance in Liberia is completely different from the way they dance in Nigeria. So that's why, and I love what you said. So I'm a Manjani, Mandingo style. I'm very high energy, jumpy, type of person. Whereas when I was studying with them, they would actually have to tell me, do it slower. You know what I mean? Because I'm so used to doing things high. Ghanaians also, Guinea, the high energy. But for this coordination style of dance, because it's a ritualistic type of dance as well, where you honoring the king, it's all about the king. So and this was our prince, so you kind of have to tone down a little bit, but still keep the technique up. So I love that. And then when I develop it, I will try to stick as close as I can to what I've learned there. Definitely.
But then you also do other work.
Oh, yeah.
You choreograph other pieces. Would you think about mixing the Liberian and the?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Mixing two worlds. I don't know if you remember African Roads, American Streets. I've done that where I've mixed African dance with some hip hop. So mixing the Liberian, and yeah, definitely, because I can tell you right now that when it was time for me to do my solo, I think I sneaked one or two Mandingo. Because it's in your blood, it's in your spirit, and it's like, whereas, the Nigerians, like I said, is all about the footwork. You have to keep the same footwork. Whatever way you change the movement, that footwork have to stay the same. Whereas Manjani and Mandingo, you're jumping, in big movements. So it would be a nice little challenge for me, and I think I would like to tap into that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you for the young people who are performing tonight. I have a couple of young people in my life who I've tried to take to performances like this, and it's really seeing the next generation of dancers and people who think their culture is important, who really, really matter in this city, and I really hope to see you in the next few years in future performances.
Just something really quick. The first thing you said when you took the microphone was about energy, and it's always an energy exchange when you're with the audience. So for me, I enjoyed it, and I think that half of it was because of the energy you were sending, and especially your smile. I mean, we all were kind of smiling just because you were, and you were conveying this energy, and it kind of hooks you into looking. So I found that really interesting, that you were really, truly smiling. That was awesome. Thank you.
So much. I really appreciate that.
One more, right up here.
There you go.
Yes.
I want to thank you for that performance, and I just wanted to ask you, how long did it take for you to develop this dance? And my second question is, how many people did you have dancing with you at the actual coronation? And how long did kids put that longer dance together?
Very good question. So the Innate Cultural Troupe, Innate Troupe International of Nigeria is the name of them, in case you want to look them up. There's about 30 members. It's a huge group. So I was like, ooh, 30 people, finding 30 people. However, it's 3 more of us that's not here. And I've worked with them separately as well, because not all the time you can get everyone together. And it's just, you know, for me, I feel like what's a gift if you can't share it, if you can't give it back? What's the purpose of having it? So, you know, I always say to my mom, because my mom is my biggest supporter, I go, well, let's see who's gonna last, you know, because she knows UDD have been around since 2004. And I get to see a lot of dancers, not because they leave, but because they grow up and go to college or get married and have kids. So my prayer is always that I can keep these young people under my wing for as long as possible, because I want to give them what I have. And I believe that if I give them what I have, they can continue this on, right? Because who knows, you know, who knows how long I'm going to be here, but to have that going on forever, it's the joy of doing this, knowing that LaVie and LaBelle and Destiny will have this in them, that they can even start teaching, you know, or start teaching other kids. So that's the whole purpose. And yeah, it was amazing being in Nigeria among, you know, the 30 performers, and it was humbling too. I definitely want to tell you about that, because being a choreographer, a professional dancer, knowing your craft, when you get to another land, you better be in your corner. You can't say I know it all, and you can't overdo anyone, because you're a student. And I remember the time where they were like, oh, we want to see you dance. And I remember not showing them all that I could do, because my whole point was to get what they are giving me, and not to say, oh, look at me. You know what I mean? So it was an amazing experience, and it will always be in my heart. And I just want to thank MRI, I don't know if they're here, for believing in me. That was probably one of my second grant I've ever gotten. And it really was a huge blessing, honestly, because I would have never had that opportunity had they not given me the funds to do it.
Well, thank you for being here, and I want to
so much.
thank the drummers, Stephen and Jeffrey. Thank you very much.